Do you know that there are people in the world today that are born with a condition that turns healthy red blood cells into tiny sickled shaped cells, and these cells cause them unbearable pain, restrict their blood flow, and also damage vital organs in the body. Today we are going to be discussing about sickle cell anemia, what it is, how it is being what causes it, and the damage it causes. We will also be talking about preventive measures. So stick with me to the end of this video. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button because we are going to be learning a lot about this condition. Now, for those of you that want to get married or have children in the future, it is best to stick with me till the end of this video because we are going to be learning a lot about sickle cell anemia. Welcome to Mercy Biomedia, where we make health and science very simple, easy, and in fact, very easy for you to understand. All right, let's go in. What is sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia is an inherited blood condition. Normally, the red blood cells of a healthy person are round and flexible, and this allows for easy movement of the blood through tiny blood vessels, and it allows it to what distribute oxygen through all parts of the body very easily. People with this inherited condition, the normally red blood will not be rounded. Instead, it will have a crescent moon-like shape. That means it is sickled, and also it will be hard and very, very sticky. And what this does is that it prevents blood flow through the body because it's going to clog as a blood vessel and hereby prevent blood from flowing through other parts of the body. And that is not even the worst part. The worst part of this is that this sickle cell blood cells breaks down easily, unlike the normal healthy red blood cells. Normal healthy red blood cells usually last for about 120 days, but for sickled cells, they do not really last that long. They can only last for about 10 to 20 days. And because the body of a person with such inherited condition is not able to produce red blood cells almost as fast as the normal healthy person does, they become anemic. Hence, the sickle cell anemia condition is formed. What is the cause of sickle cell? Now, sickle cell is caused by a mutation in the gene that produces hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein that carries oxygen all around the body, and it's usually red in color. Hence the reason why the red blood cells are red in color. And sickle cell is an inherited disease. That means it is gotten from parents who are carriers. They may not really have symptom of it, but they are carriers of it, and so they are able to transfer it to the next generation. Now, let's understand this genetic combination. A person who is AA is said to not have the genetic trait, the genetic condition. Someone who is AS means they have it. They do not really have the disease, but they are carriers, so they can be able to transfer this condition to the next generation. While someone who is SS means the person is a not just a carrier, the person has the disease and also in trouble. Let's go down. When an AS person and another AS person decide to get married to each other, they have a 25% chance of having a child who is AA. They also have 50% chance of having a child or children with AS. And they also have a 25% chance of having a child with SS. Sometimes it's not always like this because genetics can be very funny. So it is usually advisable for couples before getting married to go and do genotype testing. It is very, very important that they do that so that they don't cause the next generation or their children some kind of unbearable pain that cannot be explained. Now, what are the symptoms of sickle cell anemia? Normally, the symptoms usually start right from infancy. Number one is they are always tired because of low oxygen levels. Secondly, they always have unbearable pain. Once the crisis starts, the pain becomes so unbearable that they cannot they will just be very confused about everything and life itself. Another one, their hands and feet become swollen. Another one, they have delayed growth, or they have stunted growth and delayed puberty because they are always sick every single time. Another one is the spleen becomes damaged over time as oxygen do not reach the organ. It become things begin to just damage. Now their heart and lungs also begins to develop faults because oxygen is not being pumped well over time. Another one, their eyes may become yellowish because that is, they may have jaundice because of low oxygen levels, and they will become weak, they will become sick over time. Every time they will become sick. In some worst cases, they may suffer stroke, they may suffer coma. Everything differs. The severity of this condition differs between people with the condition. All right. So, how is sickle cell anemia diagnosed? Number one, means of diagnosis through blood tests. Another means is genotype testing. Another one is um, hemoglobin electrophoresis. Another one is newborn testing, newborn screening rather, newborn screening. And another one is to check the complete blood count. So that's it. But early diagnosis is good so that it will help to start treatment and prevent complications that may arise from ignorance. Now, you will ask, what are the cure for sickle cell anemia? But right now, unfortunately, there is no cure for sickle cell anemia. Though there are ways by which this condition can be managed, and doctors have been trying to improve the health of those with this condition. And number one treatment include one, drinking enough water. It cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be said enough. Drinking enough water will help. It can help. In fact, it has helped those with this condition to manage themselves properly. Second one is by taking pain relief medication to reduce the pain once the crisis starts. The third one is taking of follicular acid to help produce follicular supplements, yeah, to help produce new red blood cells that we know that will help the person to be able to live healthily just for a while. Another one is also by taking antibiotics, and that is for children with the condition, and it helps them to prevent infections because aside from the condition that they have, they cannot afford to have another infection, even though their condition already exposes them to infections. But taking antibiotics will help them reduce the risk of infection. Another one is vaccinations to prevent them from having um, further illnesses that can complicate their health condition. Another one which we know of is blood transfusion, whereby they go to the hospital and they get a type A blood that will be able to support their own blood for a while. Another one that we have again, last but not the least, is bone marrow or stem cell transplantation. This particular one offers cure, but then it is not always suitable for everyone. So that is just a few, these are just a few ways and more by which you can manage sickle cell condition. And you will ask, what can trigger this crisis? There are so many things that can trigger this condition to become a problem for them. Number one is stress. They cannot go through unnecessary stress because it can cause serious health crisis and pains for them. Number two is dehydration. Like I said, taking enough water will help them a lot. Number three, extreme temperature changes. Yes, extreme temperature change. They cannot afford to change a lot of, like, their temperatures cannot just change from 0 to 100 all of a sudden. It's going to be a problem. Another one that can cause this is infection. Yes, when they get infections, it becomes a problem because they have to cure it is a problem because oxygen is not going round their body to start with. Another one is low oxygen levels. Like we all know, our body needs oxygen, and so when oxygen is not met, the part of their body that do not get enough oxygen, it could be their heart, it could be their liver, it could be their kidney, it becomes a problem and it may die. But sometimes they do not need to go through any form of stress for them to undergo such crisis. Like we said earlier, it is a genetic condition. It just happens. And that is why couples should go for genotype testing before getting married or having children. Can this disease be prevented? I don't think it works like that, but we can reduce the chances of having more of these diseases occurring by creating awareness to people all around the world, encouraging people to go for genetic testing, teaching them the genotypes, teaching them the effects, and also encouraging families to know their genetic makeup. And this will help us because once a person already have the trait of this disease, it cannot be cured again. You just have to look for a way around it and manage it. And so we implore leaders and families to help couples make the right decisions concerning their genotype and marriage. Sickle cell does not just affect one thing or one part of a person or even one person alone. It affects family, it affects education, career, relationships, future decisions, and even the future itself. But with early testing, early diagnosing, and proper health care, and also great awareness, this condition will be managed. People, couples who wants to get married will be able to make better decisions and better and even healthy decisions. And people who are already living with these conditions will be able to live healthy and longer lives. Thank you very much for listening to this topic up to this very point. If this video has helped you or you have been able to learn one or two today, please like, share, and subscribe to Mercy Bio Media for more easy to understand health and science. I remain your host again. Bye. See you in my next video.